Yo, guys, what's going on? Welcome to the second edition to the Altcoin Bosses of the Traders Reality channel. We are going to be looking at the best altcoins that are performing, that are moving, that are holding the gains. And in particular, I'm going to be talking about 5 altcoins today that are just showing strength, given the fact that Bitcoin and everything else is taking an absolute battering to the downside. More importantly, let's just quickly roll over to understand what's going on. Bitcoin, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, is taking a movement to the downside. There are a lot of orders being stacked at these points in the chart. Are the market makers trying to get their longs filled in at the best possible point? Have the traders, the retail traders, yet to actually take any profits from the previous move to the upside? And are we going to see Bitcoin hold this range? Whilst Bitcoin is going crazy and bleeding to the downside, we're going to be looking at these 5 altcoins that are actually holding their gains and moving forward. When everything starts to continue back up, these altcoins are the ones that you want to be paying attention to. So here we go. OneInch. Look at that bad boy right there. OneInch has come back to the 50 EMA, bounced off it, and then showed massive interest in this zone. Now, be mindful. As we said yesterday in the actual, the first video to the altcoin bosses, we said that we want to see altcoins moving up progressively. Okay, these fast moves to the upside, as much as they are great for anyone holding these coins, expect the retraces back down. But as you can see, OneInch right here, this is the 3-minute time frame. If we roll onto the 1-hour time frame, you can see right there the strength in this coin is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, what's great is actually OneInch from yesterday's video, you can see that it actually did form a rise, retrace, and then another rise, retrace, continuation to the upside. They've gone and taken out the $6, $7, even the near towards the $8 mark, okay, in the London session. Now, in the next hour, or should I say in the next 15 minutes, we will see if they are going to make another move higher. But what we do need to be mindful of is if they do come into New York, we may get a little bit of a retrace, because you can see, look, the moving averages themselves are actually stacked to the upside. All right, so it's a little bit chaotic, so we need to just be mindful of this. But this OneInch coin, when things start to turn up, we're going to see some very interesting behavior from it. If we look at the higher time frames itself, you can see she's come back to the previous pool of liquidity on the daily. She is so close to actually taking an all-time high. She narrowly missed it on the daily, but there's nothing stopping this coin from still continuing once we do see more liquidity coming in from the New York session. So first things first, be mindful that the next hour candle could see a little bit of a retrace, but by the end of the day, if it doesn't close within the highest 80% of the actual day's session, okay, then the next day we would see a little bit of a retrace with the intention to continue back up. If by the end of today it actually comes back down and recovers majority of this move and ends up finishing 50% less, then we are going to see a lower move back down, testing of the moving averages, and then potentially trailing up back up again slowly. Okay, so keep an eye out on that one. Second, over there, you can see, now as a high-priced coin itself, you can see that they are now trying to work their way towards the next zone. Now, this is on the daily time frame as well, but looking on the 1-hour time frame, you can see the pump right there. Absolutely fantastic. If you zoom in, you can see the formation of the pattern is right here. So you've got the rise, the retrace, the continuation to the upside. Again, the same story. There's a wick right now on the vector candle. We're waiting for the start of the next hour candle, which starts in less than 15 minutes. Is either going to continue up, or we're going to see a little bit of a retrace in time for New York, so that when New York steps in, they're either going to follow through and continue higher, and we are going to see just a retrace back down in the brink spot, stop hunt low, and then shifting back out of the zone. Okay, next price points for Ava. I mean, as I said, looking at the higher time frames, the daily time frame itself is where the money is going to be at. You can see right here, if I zoom out, you'll look left and you will see those vector candles have been recovered right here, but they've come straight back into the range. And if we look closer as well, there is some pool of liquidity in this zone. So really, $400 is the next point of interest in the chart. After that, it would be, if their move is going to continue, it's going to be around the 450 mark. But before we do see that, we are going to see the spike up, drop, a little bit of a consolidation, and then moving upwards as such. Now we're waiting, of course, for the 50 EMA to regulate, because it is such a sharp move to the upside, so we've got to be aware of that. Okay, now the third one, Shiba coin, look, just this stuff doesn't want to stop. It won't stop. But like I said to you yesterday, trading coins of this nature suscepts you to the idea that price can actually collapse at a moment's notice. And you've seen what they've done right here. They initiated a stop hunt low and now they've pulled it straight back. I advise that you proceed with caution when you're trading coins that are so cheap, okay, but they do have a lot of volume in. All right, because they're buying and selling this left, right, and center, but they know full well that because of how much liquidity is being pushed into Shiba coin, there's money all over the place. So it's liquidation city for these guys. People are just holding on to this coin and not letting go. Okay, that's the third one. The fourth one itself is MATIC. Here's MATIC. MATIC has actually taken a hit to the downside. All right, he actually has followed what Bitcoin and Ethereum has done. But what I want you guys to really focus on, all right, is you need to pay attention to all the coins that are actually holding out, okay, whilst all of this madness is actually happening. All right, so if I actually go to the watch list on the altcoin boss itself, the only coins that I've got managed in here so far, the ones that are actually holding pretty well. Okay, you've got AMP up here. That doesn't seem, well, AMP is a very cheap coin itself and very lightly traded. But the Sol has still come back into the previous range from yesterday's move. So all of the gains from yesterday have pretty much been wiped out, but it's managed to come back into this zone. It came down and hit the previous pool of, look at that precision right there. Yeah, unbelievable precision. They've tapped the liquidity and they've shifted it back up. The next point of interest is this. Will the next hour candle see a continuation back down for Sol? So you've got to proceed with caution on that basis, ladies and gentlemen. All right, be mindful of that. Now, the final coin itself, I would say, would be Sol because it's not actually lost that much, okay? But the best performing coin in relation to the whole, not the best performing coin, but the coin that's doing reasonably well as a side to MATIC would be the best one. It has to be Ethereum across the board. And now Ethereum is not exactly an altcoin as such, but it has to be Ethereum because look, it's staying within its range that it's been accumulating from. Okay, so you've got to be careful. The next hour is going to determine whether these moves to the upside by OneInch, Ava, and Sheep are going to continue or they're going to hold. And that's what's really important. Okay, now looking at other coins across the board as well, ladies and gentlemen, you can see, I mean, XRP, she actually took a hit, a very bad hit. And you can see all the way down to 93 cents, man. They got absolutely annihilated. Look at that. Came all the way back into the previous pool of liquidity down here and here as well. That's what I mean, guys. When XRP moves, she really, really does move. Okay, and you've got to proceed with caution on that basis. Bitcoin across the board, now it's starting to come down lower. As you can see, we've got a new hour candle that's coming into play. It has come into the previous pool of liquidity, so you've got to be wary of that. Things could actually change from now until the next hour. Sushi has pulled back as well quite aggressively. Now, the fact is this, in light of fractional disparity, when Bitcoin drops, principally we should see Ethereum hold or rise, and the altcoins follow suit. But everything seems to be taking a bit of a reset today. Okay, are they initiating the midweek reversal from today? Is there something that's going to come out in terms of any Bitcoin ETFs that are going to be rolled out, that have been rolled out already, that haven't shown any interest? Has there been any news that has triggered this? I will stay away from news because I want to see it get absorbed in price, and then whatever they've said, I'll look at it afterwards and be like, okay, fair enough. Okay, because I'm going to see the move happen before I'm going to absorb the idea of the news being rolled out. Okay. So just be mindful with altcoins, ladies and gentlemen, as much as they are really lucrative to trade, okay? Be mindful that they can actually drop on you like a ton of bricks, okay? Unless you're trading coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum, all right? The altcoins themselves, they do carry a pretty wild risk-reward ratio, all right? I mean, look, 75% change on OneInch. That is wild. Okay, Shiba coin, look at the treachery of that, how they initiated the stop hunt low. from the start of this candle, if we dive into the actual candlestick itself, you'll see for yourself. Now, everyone seems to be going crazy at the fact that I talk about this coin and they dismiss it. But look, it is a sound traded coin. Look at the candlesticks themselves. There's hardly any wicks. It's very heavily traded. So you're seeing money step in and out. Looking at the breakdown of SHIB, how it actually came to this, you can see that they came away from the 50 EMA on the 1 minute time frame, and then they started to make the succession of drop, retrace, and then they followed through with the move to the downside and pulled all the liquidity from here, and all the way back down to this point, which was the zone that they wanted to test from the daily open, bounce from that point and shift away from it. Because it literally, from last night, it completely traded away from the daily open and hasn't tested the intention of the traders in this zone right here. Okay? So, moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, that's your second addition to the alts that you really want to be paying attention to. When things do decide to go back up, okay, and start making moves, you really do want to be paying attention to these coins. I'm going to throw another one in for you as well. All right, let me just bring this coin up for you so you can understand where I'm going with this. Okay, look at FTM. Okay, FTM itself. Look at that. Unbelievable, isn't it? Complete annihilation. All right. They've battered this coin. After that beautiful movement to the upside, they've completely annihilated the range and dropped. All right. So please, at all costs, if you're trading alts and you want to try and take advantage of any swing trades, you make sure you put your target profits and your stop losses and contain your profits, because they can pull stuff like this. Because look, a lot of traders would have thought this, as we had assumed, that if the momentum was present, they would continue higher. But look what happened. They dropped price down to the 50 EMA and collapsed from that point. All right. Always pay yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Mad love and respect. And I'll be seeing you guys later on. Take care of yourselves and be sure to like and subscribe. Take care of yourselves. Peace.